There you go. Getting really good at it. Gimel. Okay. Thought test, Sif Gimel. Vaten var oidin yenech. Ein by mishum isur rechilas. I'll give another situation where there is no rechilas, kagon. In Jamal echad Jamar. If you heard someone say, "Im efkal plani b'makom plani aken," you heard someone say, "If I meet Ruvain in a dark alley, I'm going to beat him up." Or chofenu v'gadfenu, well, I'm going to embarrass him like he doesn't know. Or sheshama mimenu, or he heard that he wants to sherod ritzayin el hazika binyan mamay. He wants to cause him a loss financially. So in such a case, right, I hear a guy who's expressing that he's going to hurt another individual. So totally different. So it all depends. If this guy's a mafia guy, he does what he says. Not just words. He did it to other people. Or I know the situation here, even though I don't have any precedence for this guy doing this, but knowing the situation, that he wasn't just talking. In this he meant it. He'll certainly do it. So then you don't say, I can't tell the guy, it's Rachilas. But rather, tzarech legal stavs connected. He has to tell. He's mechuyev to tell the person. So that he could be careful. That he shouldn't get hurt. He shouldn't get embarrassed. The Chavet Chaim takes a little pause with a Haggav. This is true that Chavetz Chaim is saying you're allowed to go tell the individual, and it's not Rechilas. If you first try to be Mokiach, that first guy, to tell him that's right what he's doing or what he was planning on doing. And he said, I don't care. Or you evaluate the situation, and this guy's not going to listen. But if you don't know that, then tzarech, you have to, you do, tzarech but first, before you tell Levi what Reuven's planning on doing, you have to do techacha to Reuven and explain to him what he's saying and doing is wrong. So right? He says, but a woman. I read wrong, and that's why it didn't make sense. First, you have to rebuke the person who wants to hurt someone, or just to calm him down. You don't have to rebuke him. What he's saying he's going to do is wrong. You can calm him down. Perhaps then anger will leave him. But then he'll gain. So then he doesn't need anymore to tell Levi what Reuven said or said he's going to do because Reuven is not going to do it anymore. We kind of saying on top of that, you fulfill the mitzvah to say of Techacha, V'avo Shalom, and making peace. V'ayin beber mayim chayim. So back on the top. It's the case where you did rebuke them or whatever, and you see it helps, and you're obligated to tell Levi so that Levi can take steps to protect himself. So if these are, but you have to be careful. So the Yachzuz can't call up Pratam now that you're not skipping any of the. We had 5 conditions before you could say something to someone, right? You have to make sure right who's wrong. You can't exaggerate. You have to have a pure toelas. You have to, if there's some other way of diffusing the situation, you have to do that. Okay, etc. After that was a mitzvah rabbi who says even though doing this is a mitzvah. You still have to be very careful. Don't be quick to tell Levi. She's playing a fly Indian until you really give it thought. And you understand that if I tell Levi, Levi will protect himself. For example, he won't go into a dark alley alone. He'll make sure. So then, because otherwise maybe this guy will beat him up. Or say plenty. Or that Levi will find some other land that he'll be protected. So they said that by doing that, the argument will be diffused. He says, because many times when you would tell Levi what Reuven wants to do to him, Levi will get angry, more angry at Reuven. Not only won't he stay away from Reuven, he'll go to Reuven and a fight with him. And by doing that, you will have caused a bigger machlokas, chas v'shalom. So therefore, after you fulfill all of everything, you got to make sure that what your advice is going to be accepted and he'll take proper steps. But if he's not going to accept your advice or he's going to take it to the wrong place, then you can't tell him because you're not gaining anything. So therefore, you have to be careful before you say anything to make sure what is the best way to resolve this possible problem. Okay, that's Hilchos V'chilas. Now, Shmiras haLashon. Now we're on Sharatuna Perik Yud Aleph, Dei Chav Zayin Tevis, it's a Hagah. We were learning how Kadosh Baruch Hu protects someone because of his midah of bitochen. Right, and for example, if someone starts another business and it's causing you a loss, you daven to Hashem that He should fulfill your loss. Right, and you don't have to make any arguments.
That he should what? That he should what?
Hashem should give you parnasa, and you shouldn't
Right.
have to fight with that guy. Right? Because again, he gave that mashal of a father who, when the father gave out portions, and one grabbed a portion that belonged to the other one, instead of the son making a fight, the brother making a fight, he went to the father and he says, "Listen, don't steal my portion. Could you give me a different portion?" The father's very happy that he was not making a machlokas. So he says over here, the other guy will lose out. Because we know someone who rips off another person, he's a fool and he's a Rasha. Because he's not going to get more than he was meant to. That was the Queen on Rosh Hashanah. Because you ripped off somebody. At the end, it's going to be tallied. And if you weren't supposed to have it, you're going to lose it. When you try to take what was coming to the other person, so then Hashem will subtract what you were supposed to get. Because at the end, you can only get what was decreed. Every year, and at the end will be that wrong taken money will destroy what you did have. What you were supposed to get. Ultimately, it's going to backfire. The Gemara in Sukkah says, there are four things that causes the possessions of people to be lost. And one of them is they should perkin al me'al atzmam and leisim al chaverim. Sheparkin all me'al atzmam. They take off what they're supposed to be doing, and they may put it on someone else. So that's a reason for them to lose what they have. If you take what's not yours, then what is yours will be taken from you. So it's not just that you're trying to make a gain in an asa way instead of a kosher way. But not only that, you're going to have to now go through a din for every penny you took. Imam Moram, as the Gemara Baba Kama says, anyone steals from another, even the worth of a pruta, it's as if you took his life. and you're held responsible. And Kavayochel, you're also troubling Hakadosh Baruch Hu to return what was stolen because that person is supposed to have it. Now Hashem has to bring it back to him somehow. Kemamorim Amakadosh Baruch Hu Rishayim. This is the Gemara in Sanhedrin. Hashem says to Rishayim, Lo Yidayim Tatem Goizlim. Not only enough, it's not enough that you're stealing El Shatam Atrushim Moisi, the Hoshev Exeil, but you're also putting me out, so to speak, to now I need to go and return that gazelle to the owners because that is something that the owners were supposed to have. And they can't lose out because that's what was Nixar on them, Mishamayim. Says the Chavetz Chaim, all this that we're saying is all hinted to in Pashas Vayetze, where it says in Bereshis Lamed Aleph, Vayomer Elai Malach Halikim B'Chaloim. The Malach said to Yaakov in a dream, Sona Enecha, lift up your eyes, Reikol Atudim O'ilam Al-Tzayin, Akudim Akudim Avrudim. Right, when he's has those business deals with Lavan, and Lavan keeps on ripping him off. So Yaakov says that the Malach told him, take a look and see that all the sheep or whatever are going to be speckled, and all those things. The thing is that Lavan took all of these animals out of the flock, right, so that they shouldn't reproduce. But the Malachim took them out of Lavan's flock and brought them back in to Yaakov's flock, so that they should give birth to such animals. Right? Perush. V'shema Taimar. You might say, Ech mutili lasis davozeh. Lito nashvaso shalom niten elecha. So I'm stealing, I'm taking what really belongs to Lavan. Right? The Malach is saying, how could I do that and give it to you? That's the end of the pasuk. I see that Lavan is ripping you off. And that's what Chavetz Chaim is saying. When someone rips you off, ultimately you get back what you need. And he loses his hashpah. He changed your wages 10 times, 100-fold. But not the hashpah, and he's taking what's meant to be yours. I'm bringing it back. He says, but if you don't do that, rather you're always arguing and fighting with the other guy because of this. Even if you're right. It doesn't bring nachas ruach to Hashem that you're fighting with another Jew, even when you're right. Just like a father, that the kids are fighting around the table. They're arguing and fighting over the portions that the father gave. The father doesn't have nachas from that. And even if someone took it wrongly, it doesn't bring nachas ruach to the father that the sons are fighting it. Now, it can't be bitachon, but when you act with bitachon, and then you say it's okay, I won't lose anything I'm supposed to lose, and I can turn to Hashem and ask Him to please give me. Then you'll merit to see Hashem's chesed. As the pasuk in Tehillim says, Tamuru ki toiv Hashem. Ashrei hagever yechas abayis. Right, the person who is relying on Hashem, taking safety, yechas abayis. Right, Ashrei hagever. Uma she'omar tamuru. What's the beginning of the pasuk? Taste and see. L'haris lanu. That's to teach us. When you taste something, you can evaluate that object. Says the Chavetz Chaim. So too, the pasuk is teaching me someone who really lives with bitachon, then he tastes the goodness of Hashem. He feels it. He sees it. That's the Tamaru Ki Toiv Hashem. Just like when you taste something, you see if it's good, if it's spoiled, if it's tasty. If you work with bitachon, your Tamaru that Hashem is good, you'll see it and feel it. Okay.